Connected. Connected. All right, let's see here. Let me post that. And let me find this window. And we will say enter. And enter. And enter. And enter. 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 Oh, a lot of hitting enter. So fun to hit enter this many times. Enter. At least I pre-populated these fields. I was smart enough to do that. And that one. Okay, that is done. All right, we can close this. That's posting. Waiting for the live thing. There it is. It showed up. Okay, hold on. Let me check my other one. And let me see if I got emails. I did. And I remember to mute my phone. Hooray. Okay, these are both set. So let's see. Social stream usually takes a minute or two. Oh, that one's up already. Activate. Okay, I know my sound is already on. Let me switch this to live and participants. And we'll go here and, oh, that one's live too. Good. All right, let's bring that one up and switch to live and switch to participants. Okay, so now we will activate. Listen for a noise. I heard the noise. Good. So now we will make sure that the source is correct here. There it is. Okay. Enter. Make that visible. All right, let's do our, why? Oh, the Twitch thing didn't show up. That's okay. I just need to activate Twitch activity. No, not activity feed. I don't care about activity feed. I care about chat. There it is. All right, so let's test. We're going to test in reverse. We'll do Twitch first. So test 1. Heard the noise. There it is. Let's do this. We'll say test 2. And there it is. That's the main account. So we can close this window. And then we'll come down here. We'll do TEST3. Nope, 3. There, 3. And that's the other account. Okay, so looks like everything's good. Shut this off. Oh, I have to do one other thing, which is to post it to Blue Sky. Not that I think anybody cares, but I'll do it anyway. I'm going to be doing something. I don't think I've done this on a stream before. And I'm doing the stream early for people who are in different time zones on the off chance anybody in a different time zone wants to view the stream. I don't know if anybody cares. They might not. But I had said I would do an earlier one. And so this is pretty early. It is 8:34 on the Pacific. On the Pacific? I guess, yeah, technically on the Pacific. Sorry, my heater just kicked on, so that's background noise. Would have been nice if that stayed off for a while, but oh well. Keeps my dog warm, so I shouldn't complain. And it works, so I shouldn't complain, because it's not like we've never had HVAC problems before. Oh, Blue Sky, that's right. Let me just post over there. In case there's anybody who cares. Probably don't. And that's okay. I'm going to be doing essentially I guess it would be a face study, I suppose. I don't know what else I would term it. I've got a photo of a man with an angry looking face because I'm going to attempt another run at my favorite Batman villain, Two-Face. And so I found a picture of a angry person with a bit of a sneer happening. And I'm going to use that as my basis. I'm going to get a sip of my coffee. Hold on a second. Attempt not to spill it on everything. Ooh, that's good. I used 50-50 gingerbread and toasted marshmallow syrup in that one. That's pretty good. That's nice fall flavor. Okay. All right, let's get going here. I gotta turn let me do the intro. Sorry. And turn Let's View on. I know Let's View is working. So let me switch to my sketching pencil here on the old iPad. And the reason I'm going to do this like this is for anybody who might be, I don't know. I don't know anything. Sorry. I had an itch right where the mic was, so I don't know if that made noise. I have no idea who really views this channel. I don't know if it's people who are just watching people watching me draw stuff and don't care about art, or if there are people who are actual like artists or wannabe artists or are getting started or anything. So I want to point out, because a lot of the art streams I see, the people on them are clearly they I don't always see the kind of ugliness of the process, which there is a lot of ugliness in the process. It just is. So what I'm going to do here is just show you how rough it is. And a lot of times I don't bother. A lot of the streams and the stuff I post is past this point because honestly, it's very frustrating and it's very rough. And while there is some value in seeing that if you care, I don't think a lot of people really care, so I don't do it too often. So I start at the point where I have at least a rough idea already in place, and then I can jump into the inks, and that's the more interesting stuff. And honestly, it's the more fun stuff for me, because it's once you start putting in the inks and the kind of detail stuff, that's what I like doing. This opening stuff sucks. It's terrible because it never looks that good. It takes a while to refine, but having said that, it's probably valuable to actually do it. So this is just, I'm literally just going to block in. Wait, why does that look? That looks really, really faint to me. Am I on 100% on this thing? Oh yeah, I am. Okay, I guess it's just the way it looks. You know what? I'm going to do something I've never done. Let's use a charcoal. Where's charcoal? Is that under artistic maybe? No, where's charcoals? Has its own section. All right, here we'll use. What do I normally use? 2B. Yeah, 2B is right. All right, let's see. Okay, let's move that. Let's get that down a bit. That's easier to see. So let's use charcoal, a medium I never actually use, but shows up better for this. So let's just rough out what the face is going to look like, right? So depending on who you look at, there's people who do the circle method. Pardon me. And then kind of, block in the second circle down here, which works. Gives you a general facial structure. You can see it. Like that's a very quick way to establish a face, and you get the kind of basic forms where the eyes would be here roughly, right? If the face is facing downwards, and then you get the nose is kind of right about here. So this works. It's a perfectly valid method, and usually you see the center line, which I'm doing one facing straight forward, so that's pretty easy. And then you can kind of block in, all right, that's depending on how you're doing this. That's basically where the outside of the eyes will be. Got the bridge of the nose. Like, there's different ways to do this. I don't really subscribe to any particular way to do it. I just kind of do it, right? But you can already see there's a face there, right? But it does give you the rough semblance of where things are going. And then the mouth is going to be here, and there's a sneer to it, so it's kind of just coming down. And since it's two-face, you have to really exaggerate the sneer part, because typically he's missing his lips and he's just the teeth are here, which I don't go as crazy on that as some people do, but you do have to have it. You do have to. I still have it, like it's still there. Got the eyebrows, which again, Two-Face won't have eyebrows, so those will go away. And then you have your eyes, and then this is another thing where a lot of artists will over-exaggerate the eye, which I will probably do in this way, where I'll have it where the eye is, there's the, the bottom lid is missing, so that will be where the eye is, right? And then, let's see, the hairline is fairly high up, so we want to have the hair on this side is going to be crazy, because that is one thing I always like is the crazy hair on Two-Face. I always enjoyed the crazy hair thing that a lot of people do, that I actually enjoy. Right? Okay, so this eye is fairly normal, so we don't have to do much here, except the, basic shadowing of it. Okay, I'll just do that. And, a little bit of line work there. And let's bring this up. That comes down. We got a chin. See, I'm trying to push harder on the pencil to emphasize what lines are going to stay. This whole side of his face is going to be a complete mess. So, you can do a lot more exaggerating here where, the lip is going to kind of, it's still going to be there, but it's going to be all wrecked. Okay, and this will make this a thinner one, and the teeth come across to there. Yep. So this, of course, is all going to be mangled and blah, blah, blah. We don't have to do all this now. You get it. That's what's going to be. All right, so we do this. And this is going to be very... Yep, okay. That eye's fine. Let's see. So we got ear. This ear will be pretty rough because the acid will have eaten at it, right? Okay, so then we have some hair here. And of course the wild hair here, which is going to be discolored. And let's just see. That comes up, feeds in, and then, you know, wild hair. We'll figure that out later. On this side, it's going to be more of just kind of, I was about to say standard hair, but, you know, nicer hair. Just kind of, a lot of times they make it very, very, you know, what do you call it? Very neatly combed over, you know. So we'll just do that. I'll just give the hair a bit of form. Won't make it perfectly, you know, but something like that. That's your basic Two-Face, really. I mean, that's the kind of classic version of him, which I've always liked. Let's see. So now let's do. We gotta firm this up a bit. So let's go ahead and let me see what. Oh yeah, we do. Let's get. Whoa. Oh, I guess I do need paint. Let's just get rid of these lines. We don't need these. We can start getting rid of the lines that don't really serve a purpose now. Just kind of, yeah. And then, you know, like that. We'll just kind of chisel them in to some degree. And this is just getting rid of things to see it a little bit more clearly. Right, okay. Get rid of that line, that line. That's, I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's your basic. Okay, let's see. Let me go to another layer because I do want to get some kind of basic shadow work in here just so we can see where shadows would go. So we'll just kind of put some of these in. And then this is a light part here. There's some shadows from here that kind of come down. Right, and then a little bit here. And this is all, I mean, this is just all going to be scar tissue, so the shadows are going to be trickier in there, but we'll figure that out. We got a little coming down from the nose, going to there. This is the left side, this side here. This side is your standard side, so that's why I'm just kind of looking at it now. Get rid of, oh, wrong layer. Let's get rid of that. Just to, yeah, okay. Go back to here. And then as far as this goes, just a kind of some shadow coming there. Easy stuff. Got some lines coming up like that. And again, you know, it's just shadow in here. And same thing here. Well, this will have shadow, but it's going to be very, very defined by the scar tissue stuff. So that's trickier. And then have that come up there. And there's a little bit of shadow there and some there. And okay. Well, you know what? Having said how, oh, you know what I should do? Hair color is so tough for me. I never quite get it right. So let me shadow it now. I mean, that's pretty easy because that's going to be mostly light, and then the darkness will be down here where it's kind of flowing up. This, let me look at some of this. Let's just do some hair shadow in here because this I often mess up. You know, I talked about how rough this is. This actually has gone fairly well for how some of my, I mean, I'm not great with faces a lot of times. Like, I have to do usually a lot of work for it, but I guess because it's Two-Face and I like the character, I think it's a little easier for me to do it as a basic sketch anyway. Sorry, just having a sip of my coffee. 1 second. Well, good morning. Well, I shouldn't presume. Good, whatever form of the day it is. Whatever form of the day it is. Wow. Wow, that's a bad sentence. Whatever it is. Oh, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Jay, is it, if you don't mind saying, is it morning? Afternoon. Okay. See, that's, I had a hunch. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not afternoon here. It's 8:45 in the morning. Well, thank you. I don't generally do very good sketches, so I appreciate that. I'm just having a sip of my coffee. Bear with me a minute. Yeah, I'm actually really shocked at how well this as a sketch turned out. My sketches are usually such grenades. So what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to make it bigger before I start going. Oop, no, I need the group. There we go. Just make this bigger so it fits the screen a little more. There we are. Okay. Turn that off. Yeah, I mean, I can probably... Geez, I mean, I don't know that there's much more to do as far as the basic layout stuff with this. Let me go to that second layer again and just make sure I didn't miss any major... No, because that's all scarred up, so I don't have to worry about that. The mouth. Let me just see. The mouth looks a little weird to me. Let me just make sure I've got that laid in correctly. Okay. There's teeth. And then you'll see more of the teeth, obviously, up here because the lips are going to be gone. So let me just establish where the gum line is. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Hold on. Sorry, my screen is obscuring that. Let me jump back. Two-Face is the best. I love Two-Face. I have always loved that character. So, yeah, any excuse I have to draw Two-Face, I'll take. The only other thing I don't really like, or that I think I have to fix, is his regular eye does not look great to me. And I think it's just I have to put a little bit more line work in it. Let me just see here. Let me just fix that. I was about to say finagle. You know, I've never drawn the penguin. I don't think in my entire life I've drawn the penguin. I can't ever recall drawing the penguin. So sure, I could do that. Oh, I gotta be down here. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever drawn the penguin. Geez, I'd have to think about what version of the penguin I'd even want to draw. I'd probably want to do the classic one, you know, the kind of, what do you call it? The one with the nose and the big monocle. Well, here, I'm drawing the penguin now. Very, very small. With his little cigarette thing. I mean, this is a very, very... Oh, the Danny DeVito. Oh, the Danny DeVito one. Okay, well, that... Oh. Yeah, that would be... Okay. Actually, you know what? Honestly, that would be the easier one to do. Because, God, he's so gross. It's almost... He's just drawing a monster, really. That's like the Danny DeVito one with that nose, that really sharp nose. And, you know, and then that terrible straggly hair that's coming off of him. God, he's so gross. You know, just like, you know. He's going to have a woman to molest around because, you know, he has to just be totally gross. There you go. That's a very quick one. Hey, I appreciate that. The blood moon painting. Yeah, you know what? I mean, the painting thing has, it's been going pretty well for not really considering myself a painter, which I still don't. The moon thing was a really kind of lucky... I really... That was a complete accident. When I did that first moon and it worked out, I was really shocked because if you watch the... Yeah, I mean, it was great because I'm good at drawing gross people. That's easy. When you have to deform somebody, I'm your guy. Yeah, the blood moon painting and what Jay's referring to anybody who doesn't know is it's on the YouTube channel. I put the video of it. I had done a moon painting and I just accidentally really found a way to do the moon coloring for the that was for the Vampire Hunter D Castle. What was the character's name? Magnus Lee? I've never actually seen Vampire Hunter D. I know people would be like, what? But I've never seen it. All the anime I've watched in my life, I've never seen Vampire Hunter D. I know what it is. I've seen images of it. I've never actually watched it. Coffee. So anyway, I didn't know the color was going to be as bright as it was. And yeah, I mean, I know it's a classic. It comes up as one of the great, if you like horror anime or vampire stuff, as something you have to watch. I've just never seen it. Not for any reason. I'm not avoiding it. I just have never seen it. Is the symmetry on? Oh, no, not crop. Jeez, no, I didn't mean to crop it. I was trying to do drawing guide. All right, let me get the symmetry on. And let me make sure it's centered. It is. Okay, there it is. Whoa, did it disappear on me? No, it's there. Yeah, I mean, it does. And that's... I don't doubt there's a reason for that. I'm sure that it is. Like I said, I've just never seen it. Let me do a layer in between of white as a filter. Or a fill layer, I mean. Just to shade, bring that down. Let me jump up here. Let me switch to... Oh, you know what? I have to sneeze. Hold on, let me mute this. Back in a second. I know I'm going to sneeze. Here it comes. Woo! Did not want to do that in your ear. Okay. Yeah, I'll see it at some point. It's one of those things where I'm like, well, I will see it. I just haven't seen it yet. All right, so certain parts of this I want to do with symmetry, which, like the nose. Oh, I'm in white. I don't need to be in white. I need to be in what I call non-repro blue. Okay, and let's switch to the regular pencil. And what I will do is I will just thicken this pencil up quite a bit. A little more. 25, maybe? Yeah, 25 is good. Okay. Black Butler is one of my favorite anime. Haven't seen that one either. See, that's what I mean. All the stuff I've seen, and there's just these gaps in my viewing history that I just haven't seen. Oh, you know what I realized? Hold on, this thing isn't centered. So I'm like, why does this seem off? Because the image isn't centered. Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of great anime that I know I haven't seen. Why can't I see the center line? It should be more. Oh, the opacity of it. Does that make it easier to see? Oh, you know, I know why. It's white. There we go. Jeez. Thickness doesn't matter as much as long as I can see it. So 50 is probably good on there. I didn't realize that I don't know why it doesn't just... There should be a way to just say, okay, always default to this color. It would just make it easier because I would always have it black unless it was a special case. Okay, so let's move this group so that the nose is more centered. I want to center that face pretty much right there. Okay. Now let's jump up here. Well, I will admit I am not a fan of the two-faced look in Dark Knight. Because okay, there's two problems with Dark Knight. One is I think they screwed the character over. I don't think you get nearly enough time with that character as Two-Face. They just turn him into Two-Face, and you know what? 20 minutes later, he's dead, and that's it. Like, he's gone. You don't get. They didn't set him up enough as far as Harvey Dent's background, and then he gets blown up, and I don't mind that because the blown up thing is what they typically do. That's okay. I like the actor. Aaron Eckhart is a good actor. So really, that movie should have been setting him up. And then in the next movie, he should have been Two-Face. But instead, they blow his face off. Although, you know, the way that it's a good way for look, the Joker's magnificent. The Joker character in that movie is exceptional. That's also another reason I don't like that they put Two-Face in there, because the Joker is a good enough villain when you do it correctly. Let's not talk about the Jared Leto version. When it's done correctly, you don't need another villain. So I would have liked it if he had just tricked Batman with somebody else, that he had saved somebody else, or that he could have saved Harvey Dent. He could have saved Harvey Dent, but he didn't get burned. And that started the kind of downfall of Harvey Dent, where he lost this woman. And then you find out he has this background where he had been abused by his father. Like all the stuff that they've done. And then in the next movie is where you bring out Two-Face. And yes, Jared Leto sucks in general. I agree. Wait a minute. It looks like you're typing, but I'm not seeing it. What happened? Why did the screen disappear? I'm not seeing the... It looks like there were 2 more messages, but I can't see them. Hold on a minute. I just see... I wonder if it runs off. You know what? I bet you it does. Hold on. Let me... Oops. No, don't. I don't care about... yeah, I don't care. Just turn... hold on. I clicked on something I shouldn't have, so now I'm trying to fix it, and... Oh, there we go. I think that would have worked well, what you were saying about Harvey... Yeah. Okay, I got it back. Sorry, it was... The windowing thing with this is really weird. I don't know why it does that. Oh, I see what I did. Yeah, okay, now I'm seeing it. Now I had the thing up, and now I'm seeing it. Okay, so... Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. He was shoehorned into the movie. That's the problem. Is they just basically shoved him in, and he should have been a main villain. And I don't think you got enough explanation. I don't think his turn, because Rachel dying, that's not enough to take somebody who otherwise was apparently a great person. Why is my background not on, by the way? Why is my background? Oh, I know why. I moved it. Hold on. I just realized that it shouldn't have a black background. Sorry, let me fix that really quick. I moved my stuff around because I had all my stuff was very disorganized, but I know exactly where I put it, so give me a second here. Should be that. There we go. There's the background. Okay. Yeah, that's the primary problem. Is I don't feel like they didn't set the villain up enough, so he just seems to flip out for somebody that, like I said, was being held up as the great example of the finest whatever. You know, okay, so when your girlfriend dies, you suddenly become a supervillain? It's not set up enough. It's very clumsy. And that's what bothers me about it, is I just don't think that they did it correctly. Let me just get the basic forms here. I'm not going to do it all in mirror mode. And the burned look, Nolan's whole I want to be realistic thing, I understand where that comes from to a degree. I sort of get it. To ground Batman, although I don't know, you're trying to ground Batman, but that's a separate discussion, really. But the burned look, it's the problem with going super realistic or even a bit realistic with Two-Face is, okay, if you're going to do realism with him, then the whole character falls apart because he would be dead of infection in a week. You can't do Two-Face realistically. You can't have that grounded in realism. Two-Face as a character, now, and specifically, by the way, because Nolan made him realistic, where there's so much of his face exposed, yeah, he would be sepsis in like 2 days, maybe. He would be incapacitated physically. He would have died. Yes, exactly. So the way to do it is the cartoon version, where it's basically the outer layer of the skin is like bubbly and, kind of what I'm going to do here, where you're not really, the mouth thing a little bit, but you see the entire part of his jaw moving. And this is realism? See what I'm saying? That's why that Two-Face bothers me, is because not only is the character not done properly, but he also doesn't make sense in the world he's been set in, is all I'm saying. Now, look, if you like I'm not trying to tell you that you're wrong to like the character. You like it, that's fine. You like whatever you want. That Two-Face doesn't work for me because I like Two-Face too much. I like that character. Like the Penguin variations don't bother me because the Penguin's a good villain when he's done properly, but I don't like the villain like I like Two-Face. Why are there black bars on this thing? Is that actually showing up? Hold on. Oh yeah, there are. There's like black bars. Why is the background having black bars? Or isn't it? No, I think it is. Hold on. Sorry, this is bothering me now. Can't I just center, fit the screen? Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, wrong. Yeah, no, and it's not a bad look in a movie that isn't taking itself seriously. It could work. Although I think just having him being burned, I actually liked the way the eye looked. I'll admit the eye looked good, which I don't like when they have the exposed eye, but I have to admit it did look good in that. Yeah, that's the thing is, as soon as I saw that too, I kind of thought, oh no, he's not going to be in this movie for long, and he wasn't. So that's my kind of other issue with it, is I kind of, knowing that Nolan's idea was, see, and that's why I'm not going to make the eye really exposed here. Oh, the Batman is a supremely great movie. I really go back and forth on whether the Batman is my favorite Batman film or if the '89 Batman, which is what I grew up with, is. And it's a tough call because the Batman is awfully good. I mean, that movie is very good. It really is. It's kind of amazing how good that movie is. And there again, as a comparison to the Nolan Batmans, I love the Batman's Batmobile far better than the Tumbler. Again, I understand the Tumbler is like a military vehicle. It makes sense. Okay, yes. But it ain't as cool as when he fires up that Batmobile, man. Oh, yeah, Batman Returns. Batman Returns is a riot. I like that movie. That movie has a bad rap, and I don't know why, because it is a little crowded. The Penguin is a little bit overboard in the gross department compared to like Catwoman. Catwoman, when you look at the two villains, right? Well, the Tumbler is okay, but I wouldn't call that that's more like the Dark Knight Batmobile. But it's not the cool Batmobile, not like the '89 Batmobile, like the Tim Burton Batmobile, which looks like a cool car for Batman to drive. The Tumbler feels like, okay, he's got to go into, I don't know, a war country and extract somebody. Fine, but I would never call that the Batmobile. But although it does have a good driving noise. I do like the sound design around the Tumbler. But again, then you watch the Batman, and when he fires up the Batmobile and that whole sequence where he's letting the engine rev up, it just annihilates anything, really. That's got to be the best one. I mean, that sound effect, that whole scene is done so well. Where you see the car, and it's got like the light behind it, and it's coming up. Oh, it's so good. I've watched that scene just by itself so many times. But also, to go back to Batman Returns, the thing that I like about Batman Returns is that the Catwoman character is perfect. I mean, there's just, that's again, to compare it to the Batman. And I like Catwoman in the Batman, but I far prefer Catwoman in Batman Returns. They got the perfect actress. She looks great. The fact that her costume is all sewn together, the setup for her, all of that is so good. It's so good. That then you look at the Penguin, and the Penguin, honestly, I mean, I like the fact that he's got penguins with rocket launchers. I like that. Don't get me wrong. I think it's funny. But again, it's sort of like the Joker to Two-Face in Dark Knight. The Penguin next to Catwoman is so much less. You know, they literally just made a Monster Man. You should. I mean, there's never a bad reason to watch Batman Returns. It's a great holiday movie. Don't forget, that's a Christmas movie. But that's the only issue with the Penguin is I feel like you have such a good Catwoman that the Penguin naturally suffers next to her. It is. No, look, that's more of a holiday movie than most holiday movies are. I mean, that's a great movie, holiday-wise. Perfect. But that's the problem with going super gross with Penguin is next to Catwoman, who is so mesmerizing that you completely understand why Batman is starting to overlook his no criminals thing with her. Because, oh my God, just look at her. And the performance is just great. And then the Penguin is just gross and drooling and... Ugh, ugh, ugh. I mean, I guess that's the point. He's supposed to be icky, but you can't put Danny DeVito in fell off a bus into a gutter look next to Michelle Pfeiffer in a skin-tight cat suit and expect me to not just want more of her, I guess. That's just me, maybe. I mean, you know, again, I'm not... Yeah, well, he is scary, and I think you can... I think there was a version of that same character that could have worked. Of course, this is Tim Burton in full Tim Burton mode, but I think he was starting to have his head go up his own rear end about how great he was, and that period of time really ruined him. But I think you can do a scary Penguin. You could do the same character if you just toned it down a little bit. You know, where he wasn't just in public. To think they had to pull the happy... Well, yeah. No kidding. Yeah, that's magnificent. That's a whole separate thing. That's great. But the monstrous Danny DeVito, you can't just parade him around like at the campaign office in his diaper or his onesie, drooling, eating fish. That character doesn't make sense. What you have to do is have him being monstrous in secret and covering it up in public and then exploding into what he is. You know what I mean? That's how I would have done it, as opposed to him just walking around in casual monster mode, looking like something that, you know, should have been in a Guillermo del Toro film, really. Except not as beautifully done, because Del Toro sure knows how to make beautiful stuff. Yeah, I think that's what I mean. I think that's really the only problem with it. And again, you can't put Danny DeVito next to Michelle Pfeiffer. You just can't do it. I mean, you just I don't know what universe anybody thinks that works in, because it ain't gonna work. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's gross, man. Oh, bad. This is Danny DeVito onesie compared to Michelle Pfeiffer in catsuit. See, one side's pretty, one side is not. Yeah. Wow. I really enjoy the fact that this has become a discussion on Batman, as opposed to me actually drawing anything. Because a lot of these streams, I'm just sitting here talking to nobody, so this is actually great. And I'm appreciative of it. I mean, I still am drawing, but I'm spending more time on airing my grievances with how Batman, as if I've ever made a movie. Like I know what I'm doing. But like I said, I think that's really why Batman Returns gets... I remember at the time people were like, oh, there's too many villains in it. And I thought, well, I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is the way they handled one of the villains. Because honestly, I have nothing... I don't know that anybody has anything legitimately bad to say about Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. I think she's great. I don't remember anybody criticizing that. And so they shouldn't, because she's great. So that I don't think was the issue. I think it was the Danny DeVito stuff is just sloppily done. And not as... And I like Danny DeVito, so I know he... You know, it's not him. Anytime something like that happens, you have to go to the director and the writer, really, as far as... Okay, did you fellas think this through when you did it? Did you really think about what you were doing here? Well, let's do another layer for the eye. Let's get this, because I find it's good to just have this free floating and then figure out the right sizing and everything. Maybe like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's just erase this part off and see what we look. Yeah, okay. And then, actually, before I do that, I really should have the eyes matching, because his eye doesn't really change. It just will be a different color. Okay, let's go back to this one. And that's, by the way, another thing about the Batman movie is I really
I actually genuinely enjoy the Jim Carrey Riddler in Batman Forever. Now, I don't think Batman Forever is a particularly good movie, but Jim Carrey was doing the Adam West version of the Riddler, and I think he did it really well. Oh, well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's yeah. Score's exceptional. Danny Elfman makes generally great scores. Well, my wife and I just watched Pee Wee Herman, the first Pee Wee movie. Great score. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people didn't like that he was being Jim Carrey. It's like, well, that's the old version of the Riddler. That's the Adam West version of the Riddler, the Frank Gorshin version. That's what he's doing. Now, here's the thing that's interesting is Tommy Lee Jones, Two-Face. I think they did a miserable job giving him a backstory. They really rushed it. But I'll be honest with you, I like the look of that Two-Face. Now, I don't think they should have done... I don't like that it's just literally a straight line down his face. That's stupid. But I like the way the skin looks. I like that version of the Two-Face character. That's how I would do it, with the really exaggerated, like, color. I don't know if I do that version of purple necessarily. That might be a bit much, but because I tend to like green. I like the green kind of animated version, or whatever, the teal that is. But I think that looks more like what I want Two-Face to look like. And I like the fact that he's got the two-tone suits. He's got the women, the one that's good, the one that's bad. Like, that stuff is fun. It goes a little overboard. I know we weren't ever going to get that in a Christopher Nolan film, but I like that look. You know, again, you'd have to finesse it a little bit. You'd have to tone it down. It can't be as ridiculous and over the top. But I like that Two-Face, looks-wise. I actually... Yeah, the two-tone... Oh, the best look Two-Face has... I have... who's the company that makes it? I actually got a Two-Face statue from... I think the company's name is... Is it Tweederhead? Oh, here it is. It is... Who makes this? Tweederhead. So if you search for Tweederhead Two-Face... which is a really stupid thing for me to be saying, but look up Tweederhead Two-Face. Right? Just Tweederhead Two-Face. I think we'll find it right away. All right, yeah. If you look at that, I got the 1/6 scale statue of that. Because that right there is... He looks so good in that statue. It is... shocking how awesome. And I have the big one, and I have that in a really great spot. I see that thing every day, and every day I look at it and I'm like, yep, it's the black and white two-tone suit. It's so cool. That statue is, it's not cheap. I knew that statue was going to be a lot. I saved for a while, put that money aside, little bits at a time, because I'm like, I'm getting it once it's available. I'm getting it. I'm not saying everybody should buy it. It's a lot to spend on a statue. And it is, but let me tell you something. In person, it's magnificent. I love it. The only thing is I wish they'd gone with a green tint on his face. But you know what? I don't care. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful statue. I love it. I have virtually everything they've ever made of Two-Face, to be honest. The only thing I don't have, now that I think about it, looking around, you know what? I don't have any actual, like, artwork with him. I'm going to have to correct that. I just realized I'm looking around. I have lots of artwork of different characters I really like. Storm is there, Ghost in the Shell, Fury Road, Rocketeer, Buckaroo Banzai, Blade Runner, Alien. I'm just looking around. I mean, I have statues. Well, I have the statue. But yeah, I don't have any Two-Face artwork. Huh. Oh boy, I'm going to have to correct that. Jeez, I didn't even think about it. Huh. I might have to commission something from somebody. Which is expensive, but I got a couple of ideas in mind who I would actually go to for that. Oh, whoops. I'm on eraser. Take eraser off. There we go. Yeah, that statue is just amazing. I mean, and it really is a very well done statue. Yeah, I love it. But that suit, that black and white suit, the monochrome kind of black and white suit is just great. It's just an unbeatable look. I don't mind if there's color, don't get me wrong. If there's, when I've seen the color stuff of him too, that's fine too. Like the checkerboard one, that stuff's good too. I don't mind it. I'm not like a purist on it being black and white, but that black and white one is pretty awesome. Okay. Where are we here? 45 minutes. Jeez, time flies when you're discussing Batman. Okay, so we gotta do, so I can just do, I don't have to do too much with this yet. I'm just getting general lines in. This does, we do need eyebrows over here. So we'll just do a light version of those that come down here, just so we know where they are. Not worrying about doing them too perfectly at the moment, obviously. But I just want to have them in place so we know. And then we're going to have some lines coming up here. These are just general shadow lines. Okay, and then these come in here. I mean, I'm not going to get rid of this under thing, but I'm just kind of looking at it. Let's see. So then we'll just do some that. Little shadow here. Okay. I hope I did not just accidentally talk Jay into spending a lot of money on a statue. I mean, it's not a bad statue, but hopefully he's not in there furiously throwing a credit card, which is weird because I don't know why it says it's pre-order. I wonder if they redid it because I already have mine. I got mine through Sideshow. That's really weird. I did notice it said pre-order, but why would it say pre-order? Hold on, I'm curious about that. Unless it's just an old listing. 1/6 scale. Limited edition, first quarter 2024. Oh yeah, okay. That's sold out. Oh, yeah, it's sold out. So never mind, you can't get it. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to know what it goes for on eBay. Oh, let's see. Do we want to look, everybody? You can't see it, but I'm just curious. Let's see how bad it's going for. I'm sure it's well, these are all the other two. Where's the modern one? Interesting. Nobody's selling it. Wow. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, you know what? I don't see any listings for it. I'm really surprised that nobody's. I mean, maybe everybody loves it as much as I do. That's possible. Ooh, boy. Oh, wow. That's the Black Adam I have. Jeez. Isn't it? No, that's a different Black Adam. Sorry, now I'm looking at statues of Black Adam. Another favorite character of mine. Yeah, look at that. Nobody's... Wow, somebody made a custom statue of him sitting on a throne. Ooh, that's a nice statue. Geez, somebody made that? Wow, that's amazing. One of a kind, hand painted from a 3D model. That's interesting, yeah. But yeah, I'm really surprised that nobody's selling it. But no, as far as I can tell, there is no version of it that's on eBay. That's amazing. Huh. That's really interesting. Oh wait, here, is this it? Oh yeah, here's somebody selling it for $550. Which, honestly, that's not a bad markup. Anyway, sorry. Right? Isn't that amazing? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like I said, it was, that might be, no, I don't even think it's a comparison. I'm pretty sure that's the most I've ever spent on a statue. And you know what? Don't regret it a bit. Do not regret it a bit. I look at that thing every day. Every day since I got it. I mean, even my wife, who's not as into this stuff as I am, big shock, you know. But, because most people aren't as into Two-Face as I am. But, hold on, I'll check. Let me see here. I'm sure you did, because it's, let's see, where'd you put it in here, maybe? Yeah, that's it. Look at that thing. Oh my God, it's so cool. Ah, it's, even that picture does not and that's the right one. That is absolutely it. Even that picture really doesn't tell you, because when you see it up close, there's all this texturing, like the suit has a cloth texture to it. It's amazing. It really is. Yeah, it's and especially when you catch a shadow on it or something, it's great. It's great. I mean, it really is. For you know, for something that I've seen, because there's been Two-Face stuff before. Like I said, I own a lot of it. I actually have the Funkos. I have the little animated series figure. I have a lot of Two-Face physical stuff. And that is the most, because they did the black and white suit too. Once I saw it was the black and white suit, that kind of sealed it. Because they had announced it and they'd shown it like the shadow of the face. And I'm like, okay, you know, that looks fine. But I really didn't know what they were going to do with the clothing. And I was really concerned, whatever. What I would not have gotten it, because I've seen Two-Face ones where they have the clothing on the evil side is kind of like ripped up and it's supposed to be a reflection of his damaged skin. I'm like, no. That's not it. He still looks awesome. His clothing is still impeccable. His skin's just ruined, man. The acid didn't burn every bit of clothing he has just on his left side. It only burned his face and his hand. And sometimes they don't even do the hand. I've seen artists who only have it with the face. I like the hand and the face like that because he put his hand up to cover the one side of his face, so the acid burned the other side. So I always like that they do when they do the hand too. But I've seen it where they have the clothing, where the clothing is all burned up and acid ripped too. And I'm like, no. That's not, I don't know that I would have gotten it if the clothing hadn't been right. And that's a really specific detail. Oh yeah, it is. Like I said, the whole thing, when you actually if you were to have it, there's a lot of really good detail work on the surface of it. That's the thing, is you look at a picture sometimes of statues like this stuff, especially these expensive ones, and you sit there and go, okay, I don't know that it's worth that much money. And sometimes it isn't. But in this case, they really did put the detail into the actual sculpture. The sculpture looks really good. And there's so much fine detail on it that really puts it over the top. But yes, the facial stuff is great. The fact that he's like about to set there's gasoline and stuff at his feet, and he's got a match burning there, and he's like flipping the coin. I think on whether he's going to stay and watch or put the match out. And so he's holding the coin. The coin's got a lot of nice little detail. It's great. It's a great statue. Like I said, there's a lot of overpriced statue stuff. There absolutely is. And I've seen statues that people clearly paid a bunch of money for, and I look at it and go, oh man, I don't think I would have spent what you spent on that. I don't think that the quality it's just not there. But this one, yeah, this one is that good. It is, for somebody like me who really loves Two-Face. If I was going to pick one Batman villain and I couldn't have any other ones, then it would be Two-Face. Then the statue's great. Now, I wouldn't be paying a ton of money for it on eBay or anything, but if you found it like in a comic store or something, open box, where there was no damage, or if there was just damage on the base, I would get it. Yeah, oh, me too, because I can't sculpt anything. So anytime I see really good sculpture of anything, I'm impressed with it. I mean, sculptors are amazing, just in general. You know what? Let me make sure. Hold on. What I should have done. In fact, I'm going to do that. Let me do this. I want the ears to be level. I don't want them to be at different heights here. So let me just make sure. Top of the ear. Okay. I just need to give myself a guideline over there so that I can make sure that the ear lined up. Because that's the thing that bugs me, is when I see Yeah, I've done it. I shouldn't say it like I haven't done it. When I've done ears and then realized they weren't, similar size. That's a Heath Ledger. Oh, Hot Toys, I think, made a really good Heath Ledger Joker I saw on Sideshow. Their head sculpts are amazing. 90% of the time. When they're not, they're really, really uncanny Polar Express Valley bad, but it's so rare now. They've got it down so well. I got my wife the Michael Keaton Beetlejuice that Hot Toys made. It's great with the real hair. It's fantastic. I mean, they nailed his likeness. That figure is awesome. If they ever make a Rocky Horror one, because that's her favorite thing, I'll get it, because I would love them to make a Rocky Horror figure. I'd want it, probably. Hot Toys just makes, I have way too many, to be honest. I've had to sell a couple because it's just ridiculous. But I've got the two, I'm pointing like you could even see this. Behind me, I have the two Kurt Russells. I've got the Escape from New York and Big Trouble in Little China Hot Toys. And then I have, I'm one of the 18 people in the world who loves Qui-Gon Jinn from Phantom Menace, so I have him too. Because I just love the look of him. I had my hair like that back when I had hair for a while, where I did that kind of ponytail over the long hair thing. Didn't last long, because neither did my hair, but that's where we are. Well, this coffee's cool, but you know what? It still tastes good, so I don't care. Wouldn't it? It would. Now, I would like honestly, because you could see they would have the one where you'd be wearing the lab coat. You could do the outfits, too. You could do so much stuff with that figure. Yeah, I would, if it ever, someday somebody's going to make it. And when they do, I'll buy it for my wife. But I'll like it too. I got my wife if you want to see a sensationally good piece of artwork, something to the likes of which I could only wish I could do. Let me see who the artist is. Let's see here. There it is. Who's the artist? I always like to name the artist. The artist's name. Oh, come on. This person didn't put the artist's name. You got to put the artist's name. You can't be listing stuff on... People are crazy. Okay. Please tell me you put the name. Oh, give me a break. Oh, there we go. All right. So if you look up Julian Totino... Hold on. I'm just going to put it in the chat because I'll never be able to pronounce this in a way where you'll be able to spell it. Okay, let me put it in. You should be able to see this because it's on the screen. Paste. Wait. Paste. There we go. All right. Look up Rocky Horror and that name. And look at the piece of artwork that individual did. Because let me tell you something. I got the print, one of the original run of this print for my wife. It's framed. And it is unbelievably good in person. I mean, it looks good anyway on screen, but you can see all that detail. This is the thing I talk about is with people is like when you get good prints of stuff, you can see the printing detail and it's really, really nice. So where are we? We're at an hour. How's the iPad doing? Oh yeah, it's warming up. Okay. Yeah. Actually, that for an hour, that's about what I was aiming for anyway. So let me switch to here and let my iPad. Oh yeah, it's. All right, let me stop that. That's a good place to stop anyway. I'll just keep this going because I'm going to stream again. Oh, I don't know, probably Friday morning, maybe same time, similar time. I'll do another stream, so I'll keep working on that because I'm having fun with that. So I will do that, but I'll wait for Jay to get back. I don't want to just vanish. But yeah. There's so much. You know, I know this, people have different opinions on this, and that's fine. I was watching something yesterday. There was a video I was watching on YouTube because I like to watch videos by different artists and their approaches. Actually, I had a different idea for this stream starting out, but then I was like, screw it, I want to do that Two-Face, so whatever. But I was watching this individual. He was talking about how he does these kind of freeform sketches, and I'm watching the video, and I'm watching the video, and I'm watching the video, and I like the artwork, but I'm listening to the person talk, and I'm like, this sounds really odd to me. And sure enough, it was AI generated. The actual narration was all AI generated. Now, I don't know if that person maybe has a speech impediment or can't speak or something. There may be a good reason for it. But man, it just kicked me right out of the video. It really did. It just knocked me right out of enjoying the video, because then I couldn't not hear it. You know, I just couldn't hear anything else. Yeah, very good artist. There's lots of them. That's what's funny. There's so many good artists. It's crazy. But yeah, we got that. I got her the big version of that. I think there is only one version. It's the large version, and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. I mean, there's lots of good Rocky artwork too. You can find a lot of good Rocky stuff. But sadly, not a good. Is that a 1/6 scale? No, 1/6 is bigger. It'd be 1/12, probably 1 to 12 scale. Not a lot of good 1 to 12s. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Testino Tedesco Batman. Let's take a look. Batman. The Batman. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Oh, well, he's also done cover art. Jeez, yeah, this guy's done a lot of Batman. Holy crap. Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I think I follow this guy on Blue Sky, and I think he posts stuff every so often. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Yeah. There's lots of really talented people. Yeah, he's very good. Yeah, he does good Superman too. That's right. I saw one of his Superman images, and they actually based a sideshow off of one of his images. The only problem with the statue itself is they weirdly seem to have. Let me take a look at something, because if you look up the Tedesco sideshow Superman, where he's carrying Lois Lane, now there's one where it's the artwork, right? And I think the problem is they made a statue based off that artwork, but I don't think he sculpted it, as far as I know. I don't think. But strangely, the hips and the upper thighs look very wrong. And I don't think the sculpt, certain things and certain proportions look right in an angled pose, but don't look right if you're looking at it straight on, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, there are certain statues. By the way, that same artist did a magnificent Suspiria poster. A magnificent Suspiria poster. But there's like sculpture that there's certain sculpture that was done, like Renaissance stuff. And I remember when I was in Italy years and years ago and went and saw like some of the Michelangelo stuff. A lot of that sculpture, because the person who was doing the tour said you're meant to be looking at it. So, Suspiria, both Suspirias are great movies. Lando had never seen my co-host had never seen the remake, and he really would never have seen it if I didn't make him watch it, and he liked it better than the original. And I put them on equal planes. I tend to watch the original more. The remake is the rare case, the very rare case, where the remake is absolutely justified to exist. So many remakes, reboots, whatevers are just recycled and worse. That's all they are. We're cashing in on a name. We're just going to do the same movie, and we're not going to add anything to it at all. Or we're going to add stuff that doesn't actually make it better. The Suspiria remake is the opposite of that. It said, okay, the core idea, the very basic framework, witches at a dance school. And that's not a spoiler, anybody. The original movie is almost 50 years old now. It's 48 years old. I'm sorry if I've spoiled Suspiria 1977 for you. 48 years later. But anyway, the remake takes the witches at a dance school and goes in a completely unique direction with it. And it's excellent. The difference really actually did if anybody cares. I did a set of late nights with a comic book writer, Jason McNamara, about both Suspirias. We talked about both movies. What do you call it? Where was I going? Oh, so the original Suspiria, the Argento one, is very much style over substance, which is not a criticism. That's what I like about it. But it's more about the atmosphere, the color, the music. All of that is what you're really watching it for. The story itself is pretty thin. I mean, it's there, but it's not a priority. It's, you never even see Mother Marcos except in the last minute, or no, probably like 2 minutes. She's a name, and you're aware she's there, but you don't really see her. The remake decided to go the opposite direction. Now, don't get me wrong, the visuals are still great. It's very well directed, but it's much more muted in the color palette, except when it's absolutely important to the story, but it's really focused on the story. You get to know many of the coven, the witches themselves, far more. It's also an hour longer than the original, which allows all that character development. So you get to know the girls more. Like you get Susie's backstory far more. You understand where she's coming from. You get to know the witches, many of the main witches, many of whom were the same as the ones in the original movie. But we really had no backstory on any of them outside of what Udo Kier said. You know what I mean? You didn't really find out. Whereas in the remake, it's like, no, you understand there's actually a political dynamic where the witches are taking votes on certain things because there's sort of a conflict inside the coven on what to do. And so they have this thing where they get together and they vote on who they want to support as far as doing it. It's a much different movie. Great soundtrack by Tom York from Radiohead, which feels... the Goblin is big, it's bombastic, it's in your face, it's aggressive and dynamic, it's great, I love it. It's Italian musical nonsense. My people make great soundtracks. I love it. Tom York's is more suited for the material, so it's less of an assault on you, and it's more of emphasizing and building up and kind of reinforcing what the story is doing. That's why I like it. So, oh yeah, I as somebody who I have the 4K of both because I love them. And I watch the original more often because I find it's just more fun, whereas the remake has some more weight to it. But I would absolutely say it's every bit as good. Every bit as good. It's just a much different movie. And like I said, that's what I want a remake to be. Don't remake classics. If a movie's really good, why are you remaking it? Unless you have something to say about it, which the remake does. All right, I'm just rambling now about movies, and I'm not going to turn this into an hour-long movie stream where it's just a static background of me ranting. Jay, I appreciate you stopping by. This has been great because I don't often talk this much during a stream, and I don't often get to combine my rantings on Two-Face and Suspiria in one thing. So that's also a nice juxtaposition for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So thank you very much for stopping by, Jay, and anybody who sees this later. Hey, thanks for watching it whenever, because I'm not a numbers guy. It's okay. I'm not trying to make any money off this thing, so I just appreciate people stopping by whenever they stop by. Oh, me too, Jay. Me too. It was great. So again, thank you for coming by, and this is the last stream of the year, I think, because as of the stream being live, it's December 30th. So if you're seeing this 2 months from now, who cares? But yeah, I think this is going to be the last stream of 2025. So I'm hoping that 2026 will be a good year. If you're watching this in 2025 or 2026, I hope it's a good year. Either that you had a good year and will have another one, or you're going to have a better one, or, well, just a good one in general. I don't know where I was going with that. So on that note, I'm going to shut up now. And as I always do, a reminder that if there is an artist or a creator that you enjoy, support that person, because I'm not talking about myself. I'm fine. I'm in a good place. So I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about artists who are struggling, trying to make a living being creators, because there's a lot of them out there, and a lot of them are exceptionally talented, and it's a very crowded field, and we have gotten way too used to things being, you know what? We've gotten too comfortable with things that shouldn't be as expensive as they are, streaming services, being as expensive as they are and increasing in price. And on the other side, taking real art and creativity and people trying to make something good and just taking it for free. So whatever way you can support them, and it doesn't have to be monetary, because I understand not everybody has the money to be able to support as many people's lives. I'm in that boat. If I tried to support everybody that I like on Patreon, I'd be living in a box on the road, because more than my paycheck would go to it, because there's so many great people. But you can reshare people's work. You can tell those people that you appreciate their work. There's other ways to support them that are just as good, depending on what's happening in that person's life. It may not be money they need. It might be somebody saying, your work has made my day, because maybe they're thinking about giving up. Maybe they've been struggling and they don't know if anybody's even looking at their stuff. Forget the money part. That nobody cares about what they're doing. So if you reach out and tell that person that you care about what they're doing, then do that. All that stuff matters. Well, that's what I'm saying, is people get hung up on the money thing, and people think it has to be money. And that's great if you can do it. Obviously, in most countries, money is how you survive. So don't get me wrong. If you have the ability to do monetary support, do it. But just acknowledging somebody's work means something to you could be as valuable as money to them, depending on where they are in their lives. So even 5 minutes to write a review, or subscribe to a channel if it's that type of thing, or again, sharing it on whatever social network you're on, or just sending literally an email or a message that's 2 sentences long saying, hi, I've been a follower of yours for a while and I really like your work. Keep it up. That can go a long way. So anyway, Jay, have a great new year, because I don't think I'm going to stream again before the end of the year. So have a happy new year. And anybody watching this in 2026, hopefully your new year was very fun and you remember it, because I know some people party very hard on New Year's. I'm too old for that now. Oh no, it's fine. Look, I distract myself from the art. I have wandered off into weird tangents without anybody being here. That's just how my brain works. Fine. Don't worry about it. Like I said, I like the fact that somebody's here that I can talk to, because normally it's, a bot showing up to say, hey, would you like to buy some followers, and me getting pissed off and blocking them. So on that note, everybody, have a great new year, or hope you had a great new year. And thanks for being here. And until next time, take care.